Hello, my name is Javon Johnson, and this is my exhibition named Black and the subtitle Spotlight. And for my first artist, I picked Emery Douglas. And Emery Douglas, he's a he does print artwork. And a backstory for him is he went to jail at the age of 13 years old for gambling whilst he was playing dice with older men. And whilst he was in juvenile prison, his mum encouraged him to work in a print shop, of which he gained a lot of interest for, and after this he went to take further study into art. This is another art piece for him. And whilst he was in university, he met two activists um, that made the group Black Panther very recently, and he stayed a year with them. And basically, the Black Panther Party is it's a group that fights against injustice and racism, which is why Emery Douglas was he joined that group. And in that time where Emery Douglas was in college or university, college as they say in America, there was a lot of like police brutality against black people, and a lot of people losing their jobs because of the color of their skin at that time, and that really influenced the style of art that he had during college. But after taking a year with the Black Panther Party, he a job role came up for him in the party to be the designer for the group, and basically he would make like really strong and bold messages and art. And for this one, this is a very strong one as well. It says all the weapons we use to against each other we now use against the oppressor. So he would use things like this. Um, the reason for the party being called Black Panther is that the animal Black Panther, um, the animal that's called Black Panther would not hurt you unless it's cornered. So this is the analogy for the group of black people. Is like if you don't, basically if you don't mess with them, they will not um, snap back, as you can say. Wait, I don't know what that is. Um, escape. I don't know how to take this off. For my second artist that I picked, I also picked free artwork for him, and this is Basquiat. And for Basquiat, from a young age, his mum made him be involved in art because she had the love for art herself, and she would bring him to exhibitions. And also, whilst he was young, he was hit by a car, and it's called severe injury, and he ended up in hospital. And whilst he was in the hospital, his mum brought him an anatomy book, which is said to have influenced his style of artwork. Um, and whilst when he went to university after or college, he made a good friend who helped him make like a brand called Samo, which is in the documentary that I watched, he said it was meant same old shit, and it's like he'd spray paint this across different places, like along with like very powerful messages, and this like grew his popularity, and it's etc. And an achievement for him is that when he held his own exhibition, his personal exhibition, all his artwork was sold off for a large sum of money. And for this painting, it's called Untilted Boxer, and it's said to have two meanings, of which is being that it may have been influenced by his love for boxing, as seen when he had like the boxing gloves, the two boxing gloves with Andy Warhol in the pictures, or it can be said that he's trying to show the strength of black people. And as he said, as Basquiat said, is that he tries to involve more black people into his artwork because there's not much reference to black people in the art industry. And I picked two other paintings, one of being called Hollywood Africans and the second one Trumpets. So first we'll be seeing the Hollywood Africans, and the meaning for this artwork is that he's trying to show that black actors within Hollywood have limited roles. So as you can see on the painting, he has words such as marijuana, gangsterism, etc. to like show, to portray how limited the roles are for black Hollywood actors. And that's the meaning behind this painting. And for Trumpets, it could have two meanings also. It can be be influenced by his love for trumpets, but also him trying to display black people as kings to fight against the Western history belief. And this is for Kara Walker. I picked two paintings. Two artwork, and she uses a paper. She uses a silhouette art style that was, I think, founded in the 20th century, but she developed it into her own type of style and meaning. And the meaning of which she picked the silhouette style and stuck to it throughout all her artworks is due to the silhouette being that it's very simple and hidden, but it speaks 1,000 words, and this is a reflection of racism. It may not be said, but actions speak louder than words, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to pick her artwork. And this one in the painting, it shows black people putting up a statue, and like the on the two other side is like the Europeans that that owned them at the time. And for this one, it's more bold and controversial, and it shows how black people are exploited to lift up the white society at the time, I believe. And it's very like bold, etc. And Kara Walker, for her art style, the cutout like silhouette, she would like develop it into like different materials. So she would not only use like paper cutouts and put it on walls, etc., but she would also use paint, what I call it, crayons, I think. And she made like books as well, like cut out books, etc. And for the next painting, I picked Augusta Savage. It's going to be displayed up here, a statue for Augusta Savage, and it's named The Harp, and it's right here. And for Augusta Savage, from a young age, she loved sculpting, and she would get the natural clay from her area and make things such figurines and animals from it. But her dad did not like it, and she tried to stop him. He tried to stop her, but she didn't listen, and she carried on to pursue her dreams. But once she moved with her parents, there wasn't any clay for her to use. But unfortunately, there was an art shop nearby that lent her clay, and with this clay that she obtained from them, she decided to enter the county fair art competition, of which she was awarded best and most original sculpture. And the county founder and mayor encouraged her to do further study within art, despite the racism of that time. And she didn't have the funds for it or the money for it, but fortunately she was offered a scholarship to further studies. And after this, she also tried to enter a summer program, but she was turned down because of the color of her skin. And because of this angered and infuriated her, and she brought it to the media, and she tried to encourage people to stand up with her against the oppression, and she tried to show what happened to her. But unfortunately, this changed little from the group, and she didn't get into the program, or nothing was there was no apology. But fortunately, there was a vast amount of opportunity for Augusta Savage after, and she carried on to make beautiful sculptures like such as portrait sculptures of famous black people, and um, and also this harp, and this is 12 singers, 12 black singers on the hand of God. They said it's the hand of God that you can see that's holding up the 12 singers. But unfortunately, this sculpture was dismantled because of the exhibition closing, and no one has bought or owned the sculpture, so it was discarded. And there was a sad ending for Augusta Savage, as she the money was running low for her, so she decided to move out of the city and started teaching instead of making sculptures. So she was teaching younger children how to paint and draw, etc. And she then she also married 3 times, but all of them, it's either she was widowed twice, and the last one, not the last one, but she was also divorced. Also, so after this, she moved back to the city, of which she developed cancer, and then later on died, which was a sad ending for her. And for Jacob Lawrence, he backstory for him is that he when he moved, his mum then was struggling with work, so they had to find a new home for them. So he wasn't living with his parents. But later on, when his mum was more stable, they reunited, and he started taking an art program where his art shone. And then what's good again? He was one of the youngest for their paintings to be displayed in the exhibition, and his painting was displayed in a famous or well-known exhibition in Germany. And I picked this painting as a better ending for my exhibition, a happy ending for Jacob Lawrence. More about Jacob Lawrence is he embraces himself in his artwork before he paints it, to get as much emotion, etc., into his paintings. For example, I'm not sure, I don't remember what part of Africa it was, but he stayed more than 3 months in Africa to indulge himself into the culture, so he can display it through his artwork, and uses very vibrant colors. As you can see, I've seen that he uses a lot of red, orange, and black, like blackish, different shades of brown, because he likes to show a lot of black people in his paintings, etc. It is a happier ending. This is more like black people being happy in the painting, and this is the reason I chose this last painting by Jacob Lawrence. And funny enough, another fact is that Augusta Savage actually helped Jacob Lawrence when there was a struggle for artists to make money. She helped him, and that's just another fact. And that's the last of the 10 artworks I picked from my exhibition. Thank you for listening.